Indian god of death, becomes Emao, the king of hell in Japan. I'm sure Japanese even don't know these names, but I had to unearth it from reference to Shintoism and how it has adopted many of the Indian gods and goddesses in their pantheon. Dhyan of Indian origin becomes Zen in Japan. Our rich cultural fabric is intricately woven with profound Indian knowledge systems like Ayurveda and yoga. These embody a holistic life approach advocating harmony of mind and body and spirit. Our cultural ethos, rooted in traditions, festivals, arts, and spirituality, influences our distinct management philosophies. Our emphasis on relationships, consensus building, and long-term decision-making distinguishes Indian management practices. At IIMK, we cherish India's legacy through our perennial values, which are Satyam, Nityam, and Purnam. Satyam reflects our commitment to truth and integrity. Nityam embodies our perpetual thirst for knowledge, and Purnam signifies holistic development and fulfillment beyond academic excellence. The theme of GIT-2023, Indian Knowledge Systems, Culture and Management, underscores the interconnectedness of the three core values: authenticity, which is Satyam, sustainability, which is Nityam, and wholeness, which is Purnam. GIT is a platform for collaboration among scholars, practitioners, and policymakers, aiming to usher in a liberal and enlightened approach to management and leadership. The Conclave is our celebration of tradition and innovation, aiming to bridge the gap between the wisdom of our past and demands of a dynamic global landscape. We are privileged to have the Honorable Prime Minister of India, Shri Narendra Modi, inaugurate the first edition of GIT in our campus in 2020. He lauded the efforts of IIMK to champion the power of evangelizing Indian thought by bringing together best of minds from literature, politics, spirituality, corporate, media, governance, and academia. We have held 4 annual signature conferences since then, and the inspiring words of our Honorable Prime Minister still resonate in our modest attempt to globalize Indian thought. One big idea that has emerged out of this deliberation since the start of GIT in 2020 is that India will have to find its own trajectory towards making a global impact. India's core ethos has been captured in the cryptic phrase Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, the universe of borderless humanism. India's mantra of borderless humanism will have a far-reaching impact on India's rise as a global force. From our old obsession with non-alignment, India has moved to multi-alignment. A culture of genuine multilateralism is reflective of India's spirit of harmony and our increasing clout in the geopolitical space. The seed of globalizing Indian thought now has emerged as IIMK's institutional pursuit. Our purpose is to assimilate and express many threads of Indian experience in an inclusive wave of interconnected reality. Everything in nature is driven by a larger purpose. Look at a spider's web and its intricate artistry. The spider's nervous system is primitive, but with the help of its ecology, the spider can execute textile engineering of great sophistication in the form of its web. A beehive is an extraordinary piece of civil engineering. The hexagonal walls of the hive are inclined at a certain angle so that the honey does not run out and the temperature of the hive is kept constant. A monarch butterfly and its family have extraordinary navigation skills. They begin their migration from the Amazon forests of South America, and reach Canada and come back to the same Amazon forest after several generations. How do they do this? Generations of monarch butterflies live with the shared purpose of returning to their origins. The spider, the bee, or the butterfly may have rudimentary nervous systems, but their intent is pure. Therefore, they can accomplish what they can do through their larger environment, their ecology. The quest further led me to pen my latest book, Leadership Chronicles, my experiment with globalizing Indian thought, in which I write about our journey as an institution and the challenges we face. The first challenge was to be able to Indianize Indian thought in the first place, as most educated Indians find our own ideas to be alien. Indian thought is an exceptional synthesis of the profound and the profane, of modernity rubbing shoulders with the mystery. India is not a succession of hierarchies, but rather a conjunction of polar opposite ideas, a sweet synthesis, if you may call it, where our many contradictions seem to dissolve. At the pinnacle of material prosperity, we have banked on the power of assimilation and compassion. There was a time in human history when 75% of the world's wealth came out of India. This is what Swami Vivekananda had said. This brought hungry cohorts of Europeans to India. Columbus was actually looking for India when he accidentally discovered America. What would have happened if Columbus had come to India? That's a speculation that Sanjeev and his tribe can talk about. I'm not qualified. Indian thought is embedded in universal human values. Indian thought embraces material pursuits in the form of artha, kama, and dharma, and transcends matter in the quest of moksha, our ultimate liberation from material bondage. Yoga is a transcendental wellness principle and a $75 billion industry today. Our greatest pathfinders and social reformers are our gurus. They have also our largest global brands. We have to understand that India does not always need to be the best in the world. India's real challenge is to be best for the world, on the brink of annihilation. Twice as many Indian leaders compared to their US counterparts believe that human capital plays a crucial role in driving successful businesses. The human-centric perspective, which differs from the West system-centric view, contributes significantly to our achievements in business. The leaders of India's largest and fastest growing companies adopt an internal long-term approach, prioritizing the motivation and development of their employees over short-term shareholder interests. They demonstrate a propensity to consider broader factors such as public mission and national purpose beyond the sole focus on stockholder and stakeholder interests. Thus, Indian thought comes from the depth of the spirit and breadth of a syncretic culture. People have been in awe of it, and scholars have frequently found its strangeness and uniqueness to be intriguing. I'm reminded of a conversation I had with a naval commander in Australia who said that he thought India was among the richest countries in the world even then, 20 years back, and I had imagined that the unit of currency of a nation is not rupee or a dollar, pound or yen, but a human being. This made me realize that India was already an extraordinarily rich country, except that its population had to be converted to human capital. That was the only thing that was needed. This made me realize that the non-conventional way of looking at India's population, which we grew up as thinking as a problem, we wrote multiple essays on population problem of India growing up in school. Now you see this huge population is like a real wealth creating opportunity for the country. The ability to create wealth for us is more important, more precious than having wealth. Creative process is what is wealth creation. In 2013, I had sent a book called 2047, which we had put together in IIMK to the current Prime Minister of India, who was then the Chief Minister of Gujarat. We were looking at IIMK as a global school by that year 2047, when we will turn 50 and independent India will turn 100. And I'm happy to tell you that IIMK has now emerged as the top 3 IIMs in the country according to national ranking of the Government of India, and among the top 75 in the world according to Financial Times. So we are giving you some 2 independent views of where we have arrived since then. When India has arrived is anybody's speculation. You know where we have arrived as a country. Our aspiration to be among the world's best institutions have borne fruit, so has India's aspiration to be a developed nation. The potential impact that India could have on 21st century businesses makes us believe that this is a legitimate aspiration. It is our earnest hope that our experiences and Vision 2047, which we put together, will be of inspirational value to managers and institutions that wish to contribute to the future of India and the world. At IIMK, we wish to play our part in the creation of a glorious and resurgent India. This conclave is IIMK's committed effort to maximize India's clout and impact in the world and reclaim our thought leadership. I hope that this August gathering goes beyond the diverse tracks that will be discussed, deliberated and decided upon, and open new frontiers to discover, decode and reflect upon as we as individuals continue to give our best as ambassadors of globalizing Indian thought. I wish to end with a note borrowed from Swami Vivekananda, an icon of Indian thought. He said, India's influence has always fallen upon the world like that of a gentle dew, unheard and scarcely marked, yet bringing into bloom the fairest flowers in the world. Let me quote this again, in case you missed it. India's influence has always fallen upon the world like that of a gentle dew, unheard and scarcely marked, yet bringing into bloom the fairest flowers in the world. The value and vibrancy of India's soft power is yet to manifest. The gentle dew is yet to manifest as flowers. If there is an Intel chip in every computer, there is an Indian mind behind every Intel chip. Do you see our invisible power like the dew behind the visible world? Our moment, ladies and gentlemen, our moment has finally come. And it's for us to rise to our fullest potential and our highest aspiration and make India count on the world stage once again. Thank you. Jai Hind.